He was the Prince of Brazil, Milan's golden boy, and the last man to win the Ballon d'Or before Messi and Ronaldo took over. But just a few years later, he vanished. What happened to Kaká, the man who was once called football's next savior? But before that, like and subscribe to this channel for never miss any updates. In 2001, Sao Paulo were playing Botafogo in the final of the Rio-Sao Paulo tournament, a competition they had never won. With just 15 minutes left before the final whistle, they decided to bring on a young player who had only appeared in 2 professional matches before. Just 2 minutes after coming on, he scored twice and led Sao Paulo to their first ever title in that tournament. If you looked at the scoresheet that day, you'd notice an interesting name: Ricardo Kaká. His talent was so obvious that he would only spend 2 full seasons in Brazil before being snatched up by a European giant. During his time at Sao Paulo, he scored 47 goals in 91 matches and was named Player of the Year in the league at just 19 years old. Before his European move, Kaká was also selected for the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Though he was still very young and only played 25 minutes in total during the tournament, Brazil went on to win the title, earning him a World Cup medal at just 19. By 2003, European clubs were battling to sign him, and AC Milan won the race, securing him for just €8.5 million. As a new signing, he often came off the bench in his first few months in Italy. Still, he was involved in 21 goals that season, helping AC Milan win the Scudetto. In the following season, he was moved into a supporting role behind Shevchenko, and his assist numbers skyrocketed. By the end of 2004, Kaká had already become one of Europe's most exciting midfielders. Kaká was named Serie A Player of the Year in his debut season, an impressive feat considering it was his first year in the Italian league. The 2004-2005 season was surprising in terms of trophies. Despite AC Milan having one of the strongest squads in the world, they ended the season with just one title, the Italian Super Cup. Still, the season would be a major milestone in Kaká's career, as he reached his first ever UEFA Champions League final. By the 44th minute of the final, Kaká had already assisted AC Milan's 3rd goal, helping the team go into halftime with a 3-0 lead. It looked like Milan would easily take home the trophy. But that day would be remembered for a different reason: Liverpool's miraculous comeback, scoring 3 goals in 6 minutes and eventually winning the final on penalties. Despite the heartbreak, Kaká was awarded UEFA Midfielder of the Year. In the summer, he participated in his second international tournament, the FIFA Confederations Cup, where he played all 5 matches and even scored in the final, helping Brazil lift the trophy once again. The following year, 2006 became infamous for the Calciopoli scandal, which saw AC Milan docked 30 points. Despite this, they impressively still finished 3rd in Serie A. That same year, Kaká played in his second World Cup, where he formed a dream attacking lineup with Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, and Adriano. Unfortunately, Brazil's weak defense led to their quarter-final exit against France. Although Calciopoli was a dark stain in Italian football, Kaká's personal career soared the following year, his best season ever. With Andriy Shevchenko leaving the club, Kaká moved into a more attacking role, playing as a second striker behind Filippo Inzaghi. He scored 19 goals, including 10 in the Champions League, averaging a goal contribution every 87 minutes. His breakout moment came with his first ever hat-trick against Anderlecht in the group stage. His greatest performance that season was in the semi-final against Manchester United, where he scored 2 goals, including one at Old Trafford. Despite Milan losing the first leg 3-2, his performance was unforgettable. As one article noted, few remember the final score, but everyone remembers Kaká's performance. In the final, AC Milan met Liverpool once again. This time, Kaká provided the assist for Inzaghi's second goal, leading Milan to victory and securing their 7th Champions League trophy. Kaká became the first ever midfielder to score 10 or more goals in a single Champions League season and the last player to win the Ballon d'Or before the Messi-Ronaldo era began. It would take a decade before anyone else could challenge their dominance. Riding his momentum, Kaká also won the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup. However, these were his final moments of glory with AC Milan, as the club soon began to decline, eventually failing to qualify for the Champions League in his last 2 seasons in Italy. One of Kaká's final iconic moments came in 2009 during another FIFA Confederations Cup. Despite not playing in the Copa America that had earned Brazil qualification, Kaká was essential to Brazil's squad and earned man of the match honors in the final against the USA. As Brazil won the tournament once again, Kaká returned home with the golden ball. Shortly after the tournament, it was made official. Kaká was finally leaving Italy. He would join Real Madrid for a fee of 67 million euros, one of the highest transfers in football history at the time. However, this massive transfer would soon be overshadowed when Real Madrid also signed Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, with the two most recent Ballon d'Or winners at the Santiago Bernabeu, the future looked incredibly promising for the club, but that promise would not last long. In his first season, Kaká tried to adapt to his new environment and playing style. He would soon participate in his final World Cup, where, despite finishing the tournament as the top assist provider, Brazil was eliminated in the quarter-finals. Then the worst happened. Kaká started experiencing complications in his knee injury, which forced him out of action for 8 months. When he returned, it only took 2 months before he was sidelined again, this time for a few more weeks. Once back on the pitch, he looked sharp and scored twice against Valencia. He managed to complete the rest of the season without any major injuries. At the beginning of the next season, Kaká had his best spell in years. He even won Player of the Week in the Champions League, playing an essential role in Real Madrid's victory over Ajax. That season, he was involved in 24 goals across all competitions, helping Real Madrid break the record for most points in a La Liga season. In the Champions League, though, they once again fell short, getting knocked out in the semi-finals. Still, Kaká became the tournament's top assist provider that season. The next year would be his final season at Real Madrid. His form had declined, and he was no longer considered a key option for the starting Azzurros. By the beginning of the 2013-14 season, it was announced that Kaká would be returning to AC Milan on a free transfer. Ironically, this came just as Real Madrid was entering a golden era. They would go on to win 4 of the next 5 Champions League titles. In his first appearance back for AC Milan, Kaká wore the captain's armband. But in his first official match, he suffered a muscle tear. Feeling defeated and responsible, Kaká made a graceful gesture. He refused to take a salary from the club while he was injured. When he returned, there were glimpses of the old Kaká, but it was clear that he was no longer the same player. Meanwhile, AC Milan were struggling, finishing only 8th in the league, their worst position in years. After just 1 season, Kaká decided to leave European football. He signed with Orlando City in Major League Soccer, MLS. But in a surprise move, he was loaned out to Sao Paulo FC, the club where he began his career, for 4 months. Just enough time to finish their season before officially joining Orlando. His early days in Orlando City were exciting. He helped the new franchise gain momentum, even leading the team to a huge victory by scoring 4 goals in a match. His standout performances earned him a place in the MLS All-Star Game, where he captained the team, scored, and won the MVP award as they defeated Tottenham Hotspur. Despite his individual brilliance, Kaká couldn't carry Orlando into the playoffs. The following season, he was once again sidelined due to injury. When he returned, his impact was still impressive. He averaged almost 1 goal contribution every 100 minutes, yet Orlando failed again to make the playoffs. In his final seasons, it became painful to watch. Sometimes, after just a few minutes of playing, he would collapse in pain. Once more, he was ruled out for weeks. When he returned, his physical decline was noticeable. And as Orlando failed to qualify again, Kaká announced his retirement from professional football. Kaká was a player of elegance, precision, and immense work ethic. In his early years, he seemed destined to become one of the greatest footballers of all time. But despite all the promise, injury stopped him from reaching even greater heights, ending a legendary career sooner than the world expected. Some might even argue that the injuries weren't enough to truly stop him. That even in fragments, we witnessed something unforgettable. At his peak, Kaká didn't just play football, he it. Watching him was like watching poetry in motion, and for one shining moment in time, he stood where few ever will, on a podium both Ronaldo and Messi. He didn't need to shout or showboat under pressure. He reminded us that you don't always need to dominate for a decade to leave a mark that lasts forever. But in those few golden years, he showed us what football could be at its most beautiful. That is timeless. That is Kaká. Hope you like my video.